I think at the moment it's really unclear until we know more about exactly what the Turkish president is going to do with the United Nations and what sanctions, if any, are available there. It's also, I think, there's going to be questions asked really of whether any action can be taken for the United States to reverse its decision. I'm sure that people in the Trump administration regard this decision as its sovereign right to make. It can recognise whatever it wants, and it's no real business of other countries to interfere in it. Having said that, I think there are one or two avenues that Turkey is probably looking at the moment. There's a number of UN Security Council resolutions that have been passed over the years in which the United States has backed at the time. There's one, for instance, in 1980 which condemned the Israeli declaration that Jerusalem is its undivided capital. It also condemned the annexation of the mainly Palestinian West Bank too. At the time, as I say, the United States was in support of that, so technically they could be in breach of a UN resolution which they supported. So there may be sanctions that can be imposed because of that, but I think we still have to wait and see whether enough support can be gained for that to actually happen.
You mentioned some sanctions perhaps against the United States because of pre-existing UN resolutions, but what other action is being taken against this move by the US over Jerusalem?
Well, I think what we're seeing at the moment is now the Turkish president who said that there should be more than just condemnation of this decision by the United States. He said there should be action. So now we're seeing some of what that action could be. If you take a look at the final communique from the OIC meeting in Istanbul on Wednesday, there's a whole list of things that this organisation, which has more than 50 member countries, is planning to take. One of them is that they're recognising East Jerusalem as the Palestinian capital. Turkey actually has a consulate there in East Jerusalem and says it's now looking to upgrade it to a full embassy. Also in that communique, they're talking about giving more material support to the Palestinians, also giving more backing to the UN's Work and Relief Agency, an organisation which does a lot of work with Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and in Gaza. But so far, the Israeli government has been pretty bullish about all of this. The Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, says he's unimpressed by the OIC declaration, and that in the months and years to come, more and more countries will back Jerusalem, will recognise Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. So I think there's a way to go in this process at the moment.